Imagine you're on a trip with your family and you arrive on an island. Then, you leave them for a while to go get some supplies for your stay there. But when you came back, the island was deserted. They were gone. What would you think happened to them? That's exactly the question that many people have asked until this day about the Roanoke Colony. How did they disappear on Roanoke Island in the 1590s? Hi, welcome to our channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the disappearance that continues to intrigue many people today, as it remains unsolved, and the many theories that have tried to explain it. The Roanoke colonists who came in 1587 vanished by 1590, leaving only two pieces of evidence: the term Croatoan, inscribed on a fortress's gatepost, and Crow, engraved on a tree. Before we start, have you heard about the Roanoke Colony disappearance before? Tell us in the comments below. Let's first discuss why these colonists went to Roanoke Island. To begin with, in August of 1587, approximately 115 English settlers reached Roanoke Island, situated off the present-day North Carolina coast. After a previous unsuccessful endeavor to establish a settlement on Roanoke 2 years prior, these settlers aimed to create the inaugural lasting English presence in the New World. The New World is a term employed for the American continents, dating back to the 16th century. During that era, the Americas were unexplored territory for Europeans, who considered the Old World to encompass solely Europe, Asia, and Africa. Europeans wanted to explore and colonize the New World for three widely recognized reasons: God, gold, and glory. So the Roanoke colonies represented a bold endeavor led by Sir Walter Raleigh of England to establish a lasting settlement in North America. The aims encompassed disrupting Spanish maritime activities, seeking precious metals like gold and silver, finding a route to the Pacific Ocean, and converting the native population to Christianity. The project culminated in the enigmatic vanishing of the lost colony following 3 expeditions. The initial voyage, a scouting mission commanded by Philip Amatus and Arthur Barlow, reached the outer banks of what is now North Carolina in 1584. There they established mostly friendly interactions with the Algonquian-speaking Indians, and even brought back 2 of them, Mayo and Wanchese, to England. Encouraged by Barlow's positive assessment and Queen Elizabeth's grant to settle Virginia, the second voyage in 1585 set up a fortified base on Roanoke Island. John White and Thomas Harriot accompanied explorations of the mainland and the Chesapeake Bay, documenting maps, artwork, and insights into indigenous culture. However, their stay in America lasted less than a year, and after a confrontation resulting in the death of the Indian chief Pemisipan, the English abandoned the colony. They returned the following year, led by John White, with intentions to settle in the Chesapeake region, yet they ended up reoccupying Roanoke. As White sailed back to England to apprise Raleigh and acquire more supplies, his plans were disrupted by the Spanish Armada's threat. When he returned in 1590, he found that the colonists, including his granddaughter Virginia Dare, had mysteriously vanished. So, what happened? Late in the year 1587, a decision was made for John White, the governor of the newly established colony, to make a voyage back to England to procure a new supply of provisions. However, just as he reached England, a significant naval conflict erupted between England and Spain, leading Queen Elizabeth I to summon all available ships to confront the formidable Spanish Armada. By August of 1590, White eventually returned to Roanoke, the location he had left his wife, daughter, infant granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas, and the other settlers 3 long years earlier. Regrettably, he encountered no signs of the colony or its inhabitants, with scarce indications regarding what might have occurred, except for a solitary term, Croatoan, carved onto a wooden post. Even though they had hints to guide them, the crew that had come back was incapable of conducting a thorough search for the vanished colonists. Just as they reached the abandoned settlement, a storm emerged, compelling them to abandon their search and head back to England. Efforts to unravel the mystery surrounding the Roanoke lost colony have persisted through the ages, yet a conclusive explanation remains elusive. The term Croatoan referred to an island situated to the south of Roanoke, inhabited by a Native American tribe bearing the same name. Because of that, many think that the colonists could have been killed or abducted by Native Americans. Before we head on to discover other theories about the Roanoke colony's disappearance, Let us know what you think. What could have possibly happened to the English settlers? Tell us in the comments below. Drawing from the enigmatic tree carving as a basis, numerous individuals hold the belief that the colonists potentially relocated to the nearby Croatoan island, presently recognized as Hatteras Island. In the era of the colony's establishment, the island was inhabited by the Hatteras Indians. A prevalent hypothesis suggests that the colonists might have integrated with this Native American group to overcome their scarcity of resources and unfamiliarity with the land. Also, an alleged piece of corroborating evidence for this is the existence of etchings in stone attributed to Eleanor Dare, the daughter of John White. These stones, commonly referred to as the Dare Stones, contain inscribed narratives recounting the fate of the colonists and personal accounts from Dare to her father. Although largely dismissed as a fraudulent creation, there exists some scholarly consideration that at least one of the stones could be authentic. Since 1998, the Croatoan Project has diligently investigated and presented archaeological proof to substantiate the notion that the colonists may have migrated to the Hatteras tribe's vicinity, or, at the very least, interacted with them. The identification of artifacts and items within Croatoan settlements that were exclusive to English settlers at that time has reinforced the link between these two groups. Fast forward to 2012, when researchers stumbled upon a fresh lead while scrutinizing a map at the British Museum in London. This map, titled La Virginea Pars, was crafted by White during the Elizabethan era and depicts the United States. Concealed in invisible ink, likely to safeguard information from the Spanish, were the outlines of two forts. One of these forts was situated 50 miles to the west of Roanoke, a distance that aligned with the colonists' intentions, as mentioned in White's writings, detailing their plans to relocate. Then, in 2015, a team of archaeologists from the First Colony Foundation, led by Nick Lucchetti, embarked on an exploration of the potential settlement site in Bertie County, North Carolina. Encouragingly, the prospective settlement location was in proximity to a Native American village called Metaquem, which was characteristic of early European settlements. While a fort's presence remained elusive, the investigators stumbled upon a collection of around 24 fragments of English pottery just beyond the perimeter of the village enclosure, a location they referred to as Site X. Further exploration employing ground-penetrating radar unveiled an additional potential dig site situated 2 miles away. The quest persisted, with activities resuming in December 2019 at a location referred to as Site Y. This endeavor yielded a considerable number of ceramic fragments from various European regions. These fragments, originating from containers designed for food preparation and storage, indicate the probable existence of inhabitants who had settled there for an extended period. But in a recent publication authored by Scott Dawson, a fresh perspective emerges regarding the English settlers of the renowned Lost Colony, who vanished from historical records. According to Dawson's account, they were never truly lost, but instead opted to relocate and reside alongside their native allies, the Croatoans of Hatteras. Titled The Lost Colony and Hatteras Island, the book expounds on Dawson's long-held belief, substantiated by his extensive research and the artifacts he has uncovered. This belief asserts that the colonists shared their lives with the indigenous population during the 16th century. Dawson, in collaboration with a team of archaeologists, historians, botanists, geologists, and other experts, has been engaged in excavation activities across small tracts in Buxton and Frisco, North Carolina, for over a decade. At the inception of these excavations, Dawson and his wife Maggie founded the Croatoan Archaeological Society. The initiative is overseen by Mark Horton, an archaeologist and professor from the University of Bristol in England, and Henry Wright, a professor of anthropology from the University of Michigan, who contributes as the project's authority on Native history. Throughout these investigations, researchers have uncovered a multitude of artifacts located approximately 4 to 6 feet below the surface. These relics offer insight into the mingling of English and native lifestyles. Remarkably, fragments of swords, rings, writing slates, gun components, and glass have been found within the same layer of soil as indigenous pottery and arrowheads. A selection of these remarkable discoveries is currently on exhibit at the Hatteras Library, while the remainder is held in storage. Dawson's work, along with his team's diligent excavations, has contributed to shedding light on the fate of the lost colony and the potential narrative of their integration with the native community. The disappearance of the Roanoke Colony, known as the Lost Colony, has had a profound impact on history and culture. This enduring mystery has fueled ongoing research, discussions, and creative works, making it a central element of American folklore. The story's influence on literature, films, and popular culture has led to a deeper understanding of early colonial endeavors and cross-cultural interactions. What are your final thoughts about the Roanoke Colony's disappearance? What theory seems to be the most convincing to you? Or perhaps you have your own theory. Share it in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell. Thanks for watching.